I'm pretty sure most of you know what Sea of Thieves are, and you know all about Rare. I'm sure lots of you are planning to go back very soon because it's soon to be filled with Disney goodness and, more importantly, Johnny Depp somewhere into the bowels of the game. But if you go back a couple of years before the great pandemic, do you remember a little title called Everwild? Basically, if you set up a petting zoo in Zelda and you mixed it with the Lion King, I think you come out somewhere in the middle with Everwild. It was a really bizarre one. It was a phenomenally beautiful game though. There were like baby pigs and, with their pig mummies and, weird deer things running around, and you weren't sure if they were Pokemon, and there were people running around chanting and healing all the animals, and it's phenomenally beautiful, but just no direction on what the actual game was about. And I mean, the descriptions weren't much use either. It was like, unique and unforgettable experiences await you in nature in a magical world. But again, I was so intrigued, and the nature looked so beautiful in it. I was like, ooh, I'd really like to give a go at this. But there's a little bit of a spanner in the works, and that was announced today, because it turns out that wonderful little trailer that we saw may actually never come to fruition, because apparently the game has been restarted from scratch. Basically, long story short, back in early 2020, Simon Woodruff, apologise if I've butchered your name there, but basically he was the creative director and he left the company. And as you can imagine, with any game, creative director, kind of important. So I imagine he took a lot of the vision and what the game was about with him and left everyone a little bit high and dry. At least that's my theory. We could also go with the fact that he was so terrible that he ruined and made everyone's life miserable, and it was awful, and they needed so much help that they forced him into resignation, otherwise they were going to murder all the baby pigs in his game. Anyway, they replaced him with Greg Mayles. If you don't know who Greg Mayles is, basically he's got a creative sheet as long as my arm. He's one of the lead creative designers at Rare. He was responsible for Sea of Thieves. He's done other things like Donkey Kong, Star Fox, you name it, he's been involved in it. Yep, so the game has been completely changed. It's been built from scratch. It's a great, it's a new concept. Basically, you're in the sea floating on a giant deer, and you shoot poop and pine cones at each other floating deer, and you go on the hunt for legendary nuts. That's right. Squirrels have buried nuts on beaches and you've got to dig them up, and it's a completely unique and novel idea. I am just going to put this out here. That was all utter total nonsense, but they have completely re-scratched everything, and it's looking to be a very different game. What this actual game looks like, I have no idea. I didn't even know what it looked like to start with. However, now that they are redesigning everything, they have said that it's got a release date of 2024. Ooh, bite your finger, I know, that is a long, long way away. We'll have Starfield and Elden Ring by then, but it is Rare, and I'm sure it will headline an E3 event, so I reckon we'll see probably a trailer for it around 2 years' time. But they're Rare, and they have produced pretty good titles in the past, and I will be excited for this. And if it's anywhere near as beautiful as the original trailer was, we are in line for a very, very pretty game. I mean, if they wanted to, make it a spiritual successor to Banjo-Kazooie or Donkey Kong Country, I mean, I'm not complaining. But the press team have put out, they said that they're super happy with the team at the moment, and they're super, super cohesive and very strong, and they're producing, it steadily, and that's pretty much it. I do find it interesting, though, that they have transferred their creative director over to this product. I imagine that he's putting a lot of his focus on this, so it kind of says to me that they're probably very happy with the state of Sea of Thieves and kind of the crossovers that they've got building up, and the general direction of the product. From what I did dig up, though, and I found super, super cool, is apparently that their work on Sea of Thieves has taught them a lot about social interaction, and that they have a strong emphasis on people working together and people working in a world together for those, genuine kind of social experiences. And they really, really, really float my boat. No pun intended, obviously, for Sea of Thieves, but I love this kind of thing, and I'm really excited to see what they are going to produce. I really wouldn't be surprised if this was another kind of service-esque game. They certainly got the infrastructure for it, and obviously a lot of experience working with Microsoft to produce this. But Yeah, all speculation at the moment, so we'll have to wait and see. A long way away yet, so yeah, 2024. But yeah, tell me what you think. What do you reckon? Did you even remember that this game existed? I had actually completely forgotten about it, but I do remember the trailer. Go back and watch it. It's very, very interesting. But yeah, that's all I've got for now. Have a great day, and I'll be back with more news soon.